Yeah, I messaged her to ask her if she was joining the meeting, but she didn't respond yet. Well, I didn't go out for lunch today, Mr. Sailor. I stayed in the plant here and just grabbed something out of the cafeteria.
Shouldn't take long.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm coming to you for this special called board meeting from Crooked Creek from the attic at my house. I'm quarantined. So we appreciate everybody getting together with us. This is a special called board meeting on February 3rd at 1 o'clock. This is a virtual meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order at this time. I think first on our agenda, we have some special future projects to discuss, Mr. Sailor.
Yes, we're back to discuss the high school ARP ESSER sanitary line project. At our last meeting, we had tabled that topic, trying to figure out how to move forward. And I know that Peter and his team has worked diligently over the last week and a half to try to get some answers for this. And I think we've got some direction on how to move forward. So Peter, if I can turn you loose with item number 1, which is of course discussing the January 13th bid and your all's recommendation.
Okay, great. Thank you all for having me here today. So we did send a letter of recommendation based on bids that were turned in both in December and in January. In December, we took 3 bids from firms for replacing the entire sanitary line, and the amounts that those came in were extremely high and well over the budget for the project. So we sent those 3 firms an addendum that provided a new project that dealt directly with the part of the sanitary line that's near the football field that's under construction right now. And only one of those firms returned in a bid in January. And we feel like that bid was also high for the work that was involved. So Mr. Sailor and the design team, we sort of all went to work. We certainly reached out to Codell and to the local Irving Municipal, looking for some solutions that might be a little bit more affordable, and being, like Mr. Sailor said at the last board meeting, being good stewards for the money. And we feel like we have an opportunity believe it or not, to take this project as it was reshaped for those firms in January and put that back out on the street for a rebid. 7-day rebid means we'll be looking at opening bids again in about a week if I can get those uploaded to Lynn's this afternoon, which I don't foresee being a problem. Again, this would be for the portion of the sanitary line that is adjacent to the football field. There is a bit of an urgency about getting that portion of the line replaced so that we can keep all of the progress that's happening out there at the football field moving in a timely fashion towards the season in the 2022 school year. So I'm here to answer any questions that you have about my letter. I'm here to answer any questions that you have about the bids or about the direction that we're trying to go to help get this sanitary line replaced.
Miss Donna, let me add one thing. I really want to thank B. Williams at Urban Municipal Utilities. He's been instrumental in trying to help us try to just gather enough information to say whether or not this price or this current bid that we're talking about at this time is in line. And I'm really appreciative of him. I'm also appreciative of Jim Codell. Even though Codell has nothing to do with this project, I know that Jim and Kenny have helped us trying to determine whether or not we needed to move forward or try to rebid. And I really feel like that the recommendation from Ross Tarrant is appropriate. We need to reject this bid, and that would be our first motion. And again, the recommended motion would be to reject the January 13th bid for the Estill sanitary line project at the high school.
Okay. So do I have a motion as stated?
I make the motion.
So we have a first by Ms. Sheila Samples, and it looks like a second by Brian Covey. Do we have any further discussion at this time? I'd like to call for a vote at this time. All in favor? We'll start one at a time. Brian,
Yes, ma'am. I am an aye.
Sheila,
I'm aye.
Tammy,
Yes, I'm an aye.
Carrie,
I'm an aye.
and I vote aye. So it's a 5-0 vote.
Thank you all for
Motion
that.
carries. Mhm. Okay.
And again, Peter is here to answer questions if you all have it, but this is the portion of the line that begins at the new field house, travels under a portion of the new track, and then behind the new stadium, the visitor bleachers, and connects to the current connection point for urban utilities.
Yes.
So that project, this was also, if you want to look back at this, it is part of your attachments for the board meeting, I think back in January. So you can look at that if you want to. I didn't have Rebecca move it, but the plan is for that to go out hopefully and get sent out today.
Yeah.
And we would open bids 2:00 next Thursday, which would be February the 10th. If we're a day late, it would be no later than the 11th, I don't believe. And Peter, you can clarify that.
Yes, so the bid documents that we've put together, we've spent the last day sort of anticipating or hoping that we'll be able to move forward in this direction. And the documents we pulled together have a bid date set for Thursday the 10th at 2 p.m. So that's when we would hope to do it. We could change that by addendum, but I'm not sure that there would be any reason at this point.
If there's no questions, the recommended motion is approve the rebid of the Estill sanitary line project.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to call for approval or call for a motion to approve the rebid of the Estill project. Do I have a motion?
I make the motion.
Sheila Samples makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll
Yes, ma'am.
second.
Okay.
Is that Tammy or Carrie?
I think it's
It's
Tammy.
Tammy.
Okay, so I have a first and second. Do we have any discussion? like to call for a vote at this time. We'll go one at a time. We'll start with Brian Covey,
Yes, ma'am.
Sheila Samples,
Yes, ma'am.
Tammy Hardy,
Yes, ma'am.
Carrie Smallwood, Carrie.
May have lost her.
Can you?
There she is.
Okay. And
Yeah,
I'm an aye
yes,
vote. Carrie is an aye vote, so it's a 5-0 motion carries, Mr. Saylor.
Thank you all very much. And this allows Peter to get started. Anything else, Peter, you want to add?
No, I appreciate your all's time, and we'll look forward to seeing you next Thursday with some better results.
Well,
Thank
I
you.
just appreciate the diligence in trying to get a good bid out on this and just being aware of our taxpayers' dollars and spending our money wisely.
Yes.
I'd like to call for an adjournment at this time.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Sheila makes a motion, Brian makes a second. All in favor?
Aye.
That's a 5-0 voice vote. So
5-0.
thank you all for your time and I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Everyone.
Y'all have a good weekend. Be
Thank
safe.
you.